spoke to them. Then I sent the child away because what the father and the mother are talking is injurious to the child. So I sent the child away. Then I sat with the child and I said, son, what do you want to do? I said, I want to become a veterinary surgeon. I said, sure, why not a medical doctor? No, I want to become a veterinary surgeon to save the albino rhinos in Africa. He's about 13, 14. I thought this is, first time I got to know that there are albino rhinos and that he's going to save them. So I had to speak to him, and then I came back to the father and said, design a curriculum where he plans what the family does and you plan it with him. So they designed a family trip, and father sat with the son and said, what do we gather, son? What do we take for camping? The son made the list. They did it 3, 4, 5 times. That kind of activity, you get that, visual, spatial, useless, was channeled into visual, spatial, useful. Then the other brain tracks, the logical one comes into play. You get yeah. So you can retrain, you can reduce on the overwired tracks and start wiring up the underwired tracks intentionally. That's the management of ADHD. You can do this scientifically. Initially, if a doctor sits down, it's good. But if we can really train people who can pick up what I am saying, doctor is not absolutely necessary. Best part of a doctor is that parents will listen to a doctor, isn't it? That fact is there. Parents may listen and follow the course when a doctor who is specialized in a topic is speaking to them. I'm hoping for the day when we can train non-medical people to speak equally, proficiently on the subject. Problem being, the doctor's time is not scarce, it's expensive. So I asked a student of mine, for a 5-minute consultation, he earns about 800 rupees. He's just GP, he's a GP on his consultation, and he sells drugs in his dispensary. That's very profitable business. So if he is to give 40 minutes, that means 8 into 800 rupees, the patients have to pay 6,400 rupees for 40 minutes. That's about 200 ringgit. That's probably, will say, expensive. Yeah. So we have to find a way. Questions? Let me finish the classification of children. Children mechanized in brain for lack of heart engagement. Did you understand that? When parents have not given heart time, train children only to do your elocution properly. What did you do at school? Get to studies. Now it's 3 o'clock. Get to studies. Get to study. No, it's 4 o'clock. Now you have to do your math. So what does the child hear? He's a machine. He has to do this, 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 this. Children adapt. After a while, they will not need you. And you may also think it's a good thing. I don't have to give so much time for my child. Terrible. That must never happen, isn't it? All the days of your life, the greatest joy in your heart must be what your children are doing. And your engagement in it, your involvement in it, isn't it? Finally, other causes for inattention, dyslexia, dyscalculia, dyspraxia, hearing or sight deficiency, malnutrition, lack of sleep, we'll come to that. Child abuse. If they are being sexually abused also, at school or in any other way abused, in school child will look lethargic, inattentive. Get the point? So there are other reasons that may look like inattention. Questions, please. Did you write down questions? Any good lecture must evoke good questions. Yes. At least 2 before we break up.
Yeah. Anyone has a question?
Dr. Lalith, is there a difference between the digital overstimulated brain, in like what you say, in their brain, they imagine a lot of things, or the normal imagination that a child possesses? And what the difference, and how can, it helps?
Very good. Now, before the digital things took over the world, 70% of the children were classroom children whose processing of learning came from verbal sections, meaning you tell them, they hear, they do. But there was a 30% even then, which I believe the way the Creator designed, they were into seeing and doing. When they first come to a place, they are not listening, they are seeing. Nice, this is nice. Therefore, their visual spatial was more developed by God's design, and they become the presenters, the fashion people, and if music is part of it, they become entertainers and whatnot. They like to show up well what others do. Advertising, graphic, photography, show up well what others do. But for 30% to show up well what others do, 70% have to do. Reverse the ratio, what will happen? 30% are working, 70% are showing up. What if the showing up percentage goes to Parliament? You understood part of the problem. I'm of course talking about Sri Lanka, okay? So anyway, that usual imaginative child was always there. In the classroom, that child was dull, never got through mathematics, and even if Einstein comes and teaches mathematics, that child will not get through mathematics. So the parent persecutes the child, learn your math. Teacher persecutes the child, and the teacher persecutes the parent on the parents' day, monthly day. What is the meaning of this dirty shame? This child can't do any mathematics. What are you all doing? Does this happen in Malaysia? Yes. So we have to tell teachers, when I go to schools, I say, there will be 30% of children who will not get through mathematics. We have outstanding case, our foster daughter's daughter, Ron knows and Kath knows, Tilini. She was a very sensitive child, musical, she can't get through mathematics. And her school, my wife's old school, every month there would be a complaint and a suggestion, improve mathematics, and the mother gets very stressed. In Sri Lanka, when the child is not good at school, mother gets stressed. How about in Malaysia, who gets stressed? Mother gets stressed, isn't it? Okay. And fathers have developed this defense system, however much the mother gets stressed, I'm not going to get stressed. So mother gets stressed. So Tilini grew up like that and came to her first public exam, and sadly, all public exams require that you get through math. Is that right? Yeah. And we did not know what this child would do, because the last exam she got 10 out of 100 for math. And it does no good for her self-image, because getting through math is part of the self-image, which is unfortunate. She went for the public exam, lo and behold, she gets through mathematics. I believe that God must be true. He must be a mathematician. He did something that day. And her image just picked up so much that first public exam she got through. Second public exam is the A level. It didn't matter to her parents what she got in it. She got some results. Now she's so involved in the children ministry, Empathic Learning Center. And she has such compassion for these children who are imaginative, can't do math. They may recognize the stick and the ball. You know, one is stick, ball is ball. That's all they know of math. And they are getting healed. After she came to work in our Empathic Learning Center, children numbers have increased. Recently a child came, a doctor's child, my student's child. His third son refused to go to school at the beginning of this year. For 6 months he hasn't gone to school. Now that child has come to our empathic learning center for 3 weeks, he's going back to school. All the time he's wearing a cap. Something has kept him, you know. He doesn't permit anybody to remove this blue cap. All the time he's with his cap. But thank God, he has started going to school, and our foster daughter's daughter, Tilini, has sent me a SMS saying, Lokutati, which means Big Daddy, that this child has returned to school. She's so happy. So the imaginative child was always there. Unfortunately, with the digital surplus, visuals go boom, 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 boom. And the acoustics go grrrr, you know how it is with the... So they all get too much wired in that place and they can't package it. That's what has happened. Any other question? Yes.
Good morning. My question is about the high IQ children. You said we have to have timetable after they come home. Should we inform the children that they have to follow certain timetable, or the parents just follow the timetable but the children know the sequence?
If the child is able to handle it, let him see it with lot of pictures drawn, colored pictures. So 2 to 3, if it's a food and rest hour, put a sticker of food and a bed or whatever. Do it in pictures. For any child, pictures are more friendly, child-friendly, than the verbal mathematics, music, you know. For them, it sounds like Hitler, Idi Amin. I'm not going to tell about any present-day ones. Stalin, you know, for them it comes through like that.
So you mean they have to own that timetable?
Let them own that. Work it out with them. Let it be on a nice big bristle board. Hanging it there. If your home can afford a playroom, it's a wonderful thing for them. That's their room. Of course, they can't do anything there. I'll tell you what to do with a playroom.
Okay.
Yeah.
About the swimming.
Yes.
You're talking about when the child swim, those who with the impulsive situation,
Yeah.
or activeness situation, they will certain like the brain like connected it when they swim.
Yeah.
The right brain and the left brain will connect, or something like that.
That language is archaic, but it is useful. I'll describe in detail. Yes. At present, it's useful. Yes. All the brain tracks work together would be more up-to-date language. Swimming is a sport in which all the brain tracks every minute work together.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Swimming works a thing called proprioception. Proprioception is a sense about balance and space. Even when we have closed our eyes and we do this, we can bring our finger point to the tip of the nose. This is a medical test. That sense is best developed, you know, in swimming. Your whole body, proprioception, brain is, you know, very active. So that spatial sense, it's a very useful therapeutic measure. When proprioception, space, language, if you want to, balanced language is written again and again in the brain, it's very helpful. I recommend father to get into